Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Prof. Roy, actually I'm very encouraged to be here because our moderator is actually my former lecturer in UM. Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed panelists, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Ministry of Defence, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting us to be part of this forum, which I feel very important for us, especially the topic on the partnership with EU and ASEAN, and for Malaysia specifically. I'm also very happy to see many familiar faces in this very beautiful hall. So I hope that we were able to have a fruitful discussion, and I'm sure we'll be expecting a lot of questions coming from the floor. So I'll be here to talk about our cooperation on the defense cooperation perspective with EU. I can say by this point of time, we have no specific defense cooperation with EU per se, but we do have defense cooperation with the EU member countries. Okay, we have right now with our, I would say, traditional partners, with France, with Italy, with Spain, with Germany. So we have with Belgium, with Spain, with Sweden. So these are the countries that we have active engagement. And if we look at, for example, I mean, most, if not all, the countries that we have with the EU member countries are basically on procurements. So, for example, France, we acquired 800Ms transport aircraft, EC-725 Caracal helicopters, and then our submarine scoping SSK, and also ongoing project littoral combat ship. Yeah, so these are the assets that we have acquired from France. And for Italy, AW139 helicopters, we have the Black Shark torpedoes for our submarines, and then the Laksamana class corvettes. So even with Spain, we have, I mean, one of our submarines were built in Spain, so one in France and one in Spain at the Navantia shipyard. And also we have the Vamtech 4x4 from Spain, and from Sweden we have especially the 57mm Bofors guns, and for the Navy they use a lot of it. And also we have NLAWs, shoulder launch anti-tank guided missiles. So mainly on procurements. But other than that, we also have activities such as exercises. We have whether in terms of land, humanitarian assistance, disaster relief with France, and then we also have on special forces. And then other than that, we also have, especially for the Navy, the passing exercise, PASEX. Each time the Navy ships come to this region, I think I remembered when on board the Charles Eagles, the French aircraft carrier. So I went on board the NH-90 Cayman, the helicopters, and on board of the aircraft carrier, I saw the launch and recovery of the Rafale fighter jets. So these are mainly our primary partners with the EU. with Germany, we are now, I mean, at one point in time, we were very active in Germany, and then suddenly it slowed down, especially when they closed down their DA office, Defense Attaché office here. But now they are back, and we are now engaging very actively with Germany. In fact, Ministry of Defense are now thinking of opening up a DA office in Berlin, if possible. Of course, depends on the cabinet's approval, but we have this thinking. The way we see it, because we already so-called engaged a lot with France, so maybe it's time now we move on to Germany. So that's how we look at it, especially looking at our current defense minister with his past experience in the corporate sector, especially with Mercedes. Looking at the ASEAN platform, we don't have any defense relation under ASEAN through ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting or ADMM Plus, but EU play a very active role in ARF, ASEAN Regional Forum, and they've worked together with many ASEAN countries to organize a capacity building, training and courses program. In fact, myself, I'm one of the beneficiaries. I've attended one of the course on preventive diplomacy and mediation in Yogyakarta. They co-host with Indonesia several years back. So these are, we see that actually there are a lot of potential on working together with EU. And if we look at their recent strategic paper on the EU strategy for cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, which was launched last year. For us in Ministry of Defense, we welcome this document, and in fact we looked at many of the EU member countries are actually adapting it and making their own strategy on Indo-Pacific, France, Netherlands and Germany, and from there we see that they are now actively engaging the ASEAN member countries, including Malaysia. I think we are very happy to see and to host programs with the EU member countries. I think there are a lot of potential that we can work with. So if we look at not only in terms of traditional security, but also on non-traditional security. Especially these days, if you look at our current challenges, we have a lot of natural disasters in this region. So I think we can work together in the area of climate change. This is something that we're also considering, and we're going to initiate our midterm review for the defense white paper. Inshallah, God willing, we will kick off our midterm review by the fourth quarter of this year, and so that we could complete it by end of next year, and we can use the outcomes for us to register our interest in the Malaysia Plan 13. Yeah. We also welcome the European Union Maritime Security Strategy. Malaysia being a maritime nation, I think this is a very important subject that we need to address. I think even yesterday we have, with ROK, we have discussed about maritime security. This is something that we cannot avoid. We know that a lot of our challenges are at sea, and accepting the fact that our maritime territory are like 3 times larger than our land territory. So for us in Ministry of Defense, we have to look outward. Our priorities at sea. In fact, beyond that, for those who have read the Defense White Paper, how we strategize through layered system core extended and forward, whereby it covers from our shore to 12 nautical mile, 200 nautical mile, our ZEE and onward. Yep. This is where we have the requirements for our military, for the Malaysian Armed Forces to able to go beyond our areas, our normal areas. And this is where again I see opportunity for us to work with EU beside climate change, on maritime security, and also if we look at now our challenges in terms of cyber security. Recently we had our Cyber Siaga event, so this is also another area that we could work with EU. We are still learning, even though I would say we are one of the leaders in ASEAN, but there are still many areas of improvement for us to, either in terms of defense or in general term of cyber security. There are things that we could work with them, with EU. I think these are at least 3 areas that could give as initial work that we could work with EU. And also for us in Ministry of Defense, we really emphasize on defense diplomacy, because it is our third pillar strategy of defense, which is the credible partnership. Yeah, whereby as Tun Mahathir, our former Prime Minister, said, defense diplomacy is the first line of defense. That's what we do every day, in the peacetime. Yeah, so I believe I can conclude is that there are many potential on working together with the EU and also under ASEAN, in whether in traditional or non-traditional security domain. I think it is important for us to be open and also to be guided. Yeah? We have today with our national security strategy and council, and also we have our own ministry with our policy committee. These are the platforms that where we discuss and we decide on our way forward on our defense and security of the country. With that, I would end my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions later. Thank you very much.